First of all, I welcome you all in Mukherjee Nagar Center Economics Academy in Ansal Building Commercial Complex beside the Batra Cinema, New Delhi. We all know that when we got independence in 1947, India was declared to be agricultural economy. It was not called as industrial economy. It was called as agricultural economy. India is an agricultural economy. Today's topic for IAS and BPSC and other civil examination, most important question is new technology in agriculture. New technology in agriculture is known as green revolution. New technology in agriculture is known as green revolution. What is revolution? What is revolution? Revolution means change. You have studied revolution. Change. Change is known as revolution. What is the change? Change in technique of production in agriculture is known as green revolution in agriculture. Green revolution means transforming agriculture sector from subsistence level to capitalistic farming. Green revolution term was invented in India, and M.S. Swaminathan is the leading man behind this green revolution in India. And on the top, Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Green revolution was started in the era of Lal Bahadur Shastri, 1967. There was a pilot project, and in the pilot project, seven states were selected and 7 districts. For green revolution. What is green revolution? Look here, green revolution. This is agricultural output. Traditional seeds were used. HYV seeds used in green revolution. You look here, this is point of intersection between the traditional and the modern production curve. When India got independence, you will be surprised to note that in India, this is 50%. (1947). 2001, self-reliance. Food grains. This was imported food grains. Imported food grain. This is domestic. Percentage of foreign food grains and India's food grains. Nineteen 67, 77, 87, 1997, and then 2001. This is the story of food supply in India by our agricultural sector. Many people are talking about farmers. They are not getting the correct price. Look back. When India got independence, only 40% of food grains were produced by Indian farmers. And 60% food grains were imported. Just like today, we import 84% our requirement of petrol, and we have only our production 16%. Same situation was not for petrol, because at that time car and motorbike are not a common thing. In India, you have to wait at least 10 years in queue under control system to buy a motorbike and a scooter. Naturally, there was a restrictions on the use of petrol. If you don't have car, if you don't have motorbike, the consumption of petrol in the country will be high or low? Low. That was the policy of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. That was the vision behind the controlled economy. That we had a scarcity of many things just after independence. So it was necessary to have control in the system. We all know that there are many profiteers. They want to maximize profit during the period of scarcity. So, Green Revolution came in 19 GR, Green Revolution. Before that, there was traditional farming, traditional technology, hornbill, oxen plow was the symbol of prosperity in our country. We do not see hornbill as a symbol in election. Mr. Indira Gandhi had cow and bachada. Cow. this symbol is latest. So what we see that agricultural production this point is known as transition period. Quite interesting. Many people who are very simple, not educated, but they have their experience of life. They say that HYV give me less food and traditional variety seeds give me more food. How can I shift to new technology of agriculture? They know that traditional variety and high yield variety both are compared. Then if other things remaining the same, high yield variety will produce more food grain in the country. But there was inequality in context of irrigation water. Take the case today, 98% sugarcane farmers, 98% receive irrigation facility in Maharashtra, and in Bihar 47%. How can we expect that the sugarcane production will increase? Sucrose in sugarcane in Maharashtra 14%. In Bihar it is 8%. Sugar industry is not viable in Bihar, in spite of the fact that the soil is better than Maharashtra. Bihar is such a area in the world where 22 types of soils are found by American agronomists. One American came to India for research purpose and did research all parts of the country. His name was Mr. Phillips. In Bihar there is a place, Pusa, and Delhi also there is a place, Pusa Road. The same name Pusa is important. In Bihar, Pusa is famous for agricultural university. Why agricultural university was established in Pusa? Because Mr. Phillips, agronomist from the America, USA, he found 22 types of soil in Bihar state. And in Pusa, all these 22 types are available. So he located that place. That this place is most important from agriculture point of view. That 22 types of soil in Bihar, it is a rare thing. We could not utilize that 22 types of variety of agricultural food grains and products. 22 types is not suitable for one food grain. 22 types will give us 22 types of food grains, 22 types of variety of fruits and vegetables. But we could not develop those 22 types of land. We could not diversify our agriculture by our fiscal policy. Government expenditure on agriculture. If you look into the data of economic survey, there is a decreasing investment of government in agriculture. This government is just 5 years government. Take the case of previous government and find out in economic survey. Ask in the Google that what was the public investment in agriculture. You will find out there is decreasing trend in public expenditure on agriculture sector. But in spite of this fact, Green Revolution became successful in terms of food grain production. So what is Green Revolution? HYV seeds, HYV seeds plus chemical fertilizer plus pesticides plus assured irrigation plus tractor mechanization of agriculture. This is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, this is number 4, this is number 5. So 5 elements taken together give us Green Revolution. These 5 elements must be adequate, timely, used. 5 elements. Then what will happen? HYV just case will be reversed. In 1967-68, in most of the place, these 5 elements are not in adequate quantity. So people thought that traditional variety is better than HY. But as soon as, and this was the case of Bihar, and this is the case of Punjab. There are many case studies of Bihar and Punjab regarding agriculture. Soil texture of Bihar is better than Punjab. But total production in Bihar is less than Punjab. Punjab, Haryana, main supplier of food grains in the early stage of Green Revolution. At present, it is at saturation point. So what we see that under Green Revolution, 5 elements are taken together in an optimal use. All these 5 elements, like number 1, high yield variety seeds. What is the high yield variety seeds? High yield variety seeds means dwarf plant, and one plant is like this. Traditional variety seeds, HYV seeds. Norman Borlaug, invented this HYB seeds. Dwarf is not a bad thing. I always encourage the students in classroom whose size is low. I request them to apply in Japanese form, not in American MNC. In American MNC, tall, long person will apply and they will get success. But if he is long enough and applied in Japanese multinational company, he will be rejected because boss will ask like this. Everyone has a scope, and dwarf is considered to be more powerful in terms of productivity. Their grains are heavy, but in long plant, energy is diverted in leaves and stem, and the grains are not so heavy. When we calculate, then we will find out that per hectare 400 units is produced by dwarf seeds, dwarf plant, and the same long plant traditional variety 100. Difference is 1:4. India is nowadays self-reliance in agriculture. This was a dream when we got independence. Bihar was the main state which are taking large amount of imported food grains. See the data. And therefore Bihar was considered to be low-grade economy. And the main reason why infrastructural development in rural areas were not uniform. There is focus on industrial sector, more investment on the industrial sector, and agriculture sector was neglected in terms of public investment. You find out in Google that what was public investment in agriculture, plan-wise, and compare data, and show me in next class. Write down data of agricultural sector, public investment. What is public investment? Public investment in canal construction, public investment in irrigation dam construction, public investment in information of new agriculture to farmers. What was the public investment? Total public investment in agriculture sector has shown decreasing trend after independence. Green revolution is successful because of the private investments. Large number of farmers invested their own capital in pumping set. All well farmers have their own pumping set. They are not dependent upon the water from government boring, as we were dependent in Bihar, but gradually that boring machine is not operative and farmers started their own irrigation facilities by selling of large number of pumping sets to the farmers. That was private investment. Government investment, if you compare investment in export zone, economic, what we call export zone,
एग्रीकल्चर इकोनॉमिक एक्सपोर्ट जोन होता है,
Other export zone,
स्पेशली
what do you call?
एग्रीकल्चर एक्सपोर्ट जोन है, स्पेशल इकोनॉमिक जोन होता है।
A special economic zone, SEZ, goes and see. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? No. Go in Gujarat and see it. Go in Maharashtra, see it. All facilities are available in economic, special economic zone. Such type of farm sector is not considered. Farmers were not given such type of boost. It was the private investment which encouraged farmers and the success of HYV seeds. We all know that the success of HYV seeds along with the HYV chemical fertilizer, pesticides, assured irrigation, tractor or mechanized agriculture, all these five has resulted, and this gap, look at this gap is gradually, and then we reached 2001. In 2002 we exported food grains, basmati rice. We exported food grains to different countries of the world. We got 14,000 crore as income from the agricultural export. Such was the situation of success of Green Revolution. Green Revolution succeeded, but its fruits are not distributed equally among the big farmers and small farmers. This is the demerits of our Green Revolution. But the merit is that who has a huge farm, large farm or medium farm, country received food supply, food grain supply, and we were caught in imported food grains syndrome. This is known as imported food grain syndrome in India, just after independence. That imported food grain syndrome evaporated like a camphor, and now we eat our rice, we eat our pulses, and everywhere in the market food grains are sold. In 1969, if you go to the market, you cannot get food grains. Wheat are not sold in the market openly. That was sold only in the ration shop. Sugar is not sold in the open market. That is sold only in the ration shop. That was the condition in 1969. That was the starting of the Green Revolution. When Green Revolution is successful, 400% agricultural production of wheat, rice, maize and other grains increased. And the whole market mechanism, whole market is filled by the food grains. We are not importer of food grains. We are self-sufficient, having 136 crore population, and no one is having a scarcity of food grains because market is flooded with food grains. In 2003, there was a report in the World Bank that India is considered as food grain mountain. There was need for only 20 million ton food grains as a security. This is known as a buffer stock. This is for the safety. 20 million ton. But suddenly World Bank noticed that India has 60 million ton food grains piled in different states, and it declared that this is food grain mountain in India. Look here, India, 1947. Only 40% food grain is supplied by our agricultural farm. And 60% were imported from USA, Canada, Australia. Now we eat our food grains. Now we eat our food grains produced by our farmers. How can farmers be neglected by the government? There is less attention to the farmers. People may think again that if farm sector failed, then petrol will be stopped and food grain will be imported. When there is choice between petrol and food grain, which will be promoted? Food grain. And we will return back to the original 1947 condition. As there is discontent among farmers. This is not a political issue. It is a genuine issue. That agriculture and industry both are not same. Both produce. Both produce. च्युगम को बाहर थूक आएंगे, बाहर थूकिएगा, बेसिन में नहीं. What we find out that in the economy, production of agriculture and production of industry both are not same. You can stock industrial product, you can stock machinery for 5 years and wait for its sale, but you cannot stock food grains for 5 years. It will be of no use. Food grains must be spent, must be purchased by the people every year, and 20 million ton stocks as a buffer stock it is kept. That suppose there is failure of the monsoon, and Indian agriculture is still dependent upon monsoon. Monsoon is most important factor even today in agriculture. But our technology is upgraded. Agricultural technology upgraded. Pesticides, chemical, fertilizers, and the method of farming all improved. We have been having nowadays farmers teaching through the mobile, through app. Farmers can know types of farming through Google. What is the method of rice cultivation in Israel? They can find out. What is the method of wheat cultivation in Canada? They can see it. They copy it. They are being trained. So new technology in agriculture has brought agriculture near farms. So farm and farm. What is difference? Agriculture is farm and industry is farm. When agriculture becomes industry, then it will be known as agricultural farm. Their cost of production will be in computer feed, and then the earning will be fed, and then the profit rate will be calculated, and they can find out that what is the rate of profit remaining in the farm sector. Most of the farmers are now thinking that how to develop their children in favor of agriculture. Most of the children are shifting towards technical side education. Farmer's son, if you ask from the farmer's son that what is your father, he will say he is doing nothing. Then how could you eat? That is from Kisani. Kisani is a profession. Your farmer is a profession, and we should consider it technical education, and therefore agricultural engineering, integration of agriculture and science, and BSc in agriculture. They are taught many new things, just like engineering. So agriculture importance you can consider from its opportunity cost. What is the opportunity cost? Today you can see that everyone is focusing on farmer, that I will give so many political parties. Food grains are supplied by farmers. If they don't produce enough, they will produce for themselves. But if do not produce more than their own consumption, they will not sell in the market. Then those who are working in industry, those who are teacher and lawyer and other, from where they will get food grain? They get food grain because farmers produce more than what they require. That excess is known as marketable surplus. Marketable surplus of agriculture. It must be increased. And what is the opportunity cost? That if there is a scarcity of food grain, we will import food grain from Canada, from America, from Australia, and we will pay in dollar or we will pay in gold. Then you will realize the importance of farming. Then you realize the importance of the farmer. Then you realize that agriculture is the main occupation in our country of 136 crore population. Their food requirement directly depends upon agriculture sector. So Green Revolution is a improvement in agricultural technology, production. But if we compare merits and demerits, then what is merit? What is merit of Green Revolution? First merit, supply of food grains increased. Second merit, there is regularity in the supply of food grains from the domestic farmers. Number 3, there is merit of surplus agricultural produce, marketable surplus. And there is merit that agriculture in India provides, even today, 57% employment. Today the problem of unemployment is most important problem, both in farm sector and non-farm sector. Because farmers are not trained to produce food grains and send in the market not crude food grains, but some processed semi-chalos. What is chalos? It is produced by maize. If such type of food processing industry are attached to the farm sector, the income of the farmers will increase. Green Revolution merit is that India changed from food problem country, food deficient country to surplus food grains country. India experienced food grain mountain. Such type of experiences with Denmark. Denmark was termed as butter mountain.